cette liberté de nous réjouir en toi.
Hello, my friends. It's Mrs. Francine again in front of you, a grateful teacher of Spring of Life Christian School. I'd like to remind you that we are Joshua as our identity. Previously, we have been talking about history. We spoke about settings, knowing that there exist two settings, the spatial setting and the temporal setting. But right now, we are going to continue with the same branch of history, but now we are not going to talk again about setting, but now we are going to talk about the different period of our history. Knowing the timeline from the beginning until now, there are different periods that we are going to discuss together with you. Now let's go in deep with our lesson. Different period of history. There exist 4 periods of history. What are they? The first one is called antiquity or old age. This period starts from the year 400 before Jesus Christ. And we start here the year 0, where Jesus was born. It means that the period before Jesus Christ was called antiquity or the older age. The second period of history is that Middle Age. The Middle Age starts from the year 476 until 1453. We call this period of history the Middle Age. The third period of history is what we call the Modern Age. The Modern Age started from 1453 until 1789. So this period of history stopped there. And the last period of history is what we call Contemporary Age. The Contemporary Age started in the year 1789 until today, 2020. The note. What does the note say? From the year 400 before Jesus Christ, B means before Jesus Christ. Remember, in the settings, I tried to explain you that before they were counting down. It means they were counting down counting, which means they were counting from the greatest number to the least. Example, they started from 10 to 0. And when Jesus was born in the year 0, this period, then we start counting upward. Means what? Ascending order. Means from 0 until today. Now, what happened in this period, antiquity, before Jesus Christ? In this period, what happened as event? It was the human apparition on earth. Remember, in the definition of history, we said that history was the study of the man in the past since his apparition. So the apparition of the human being, you and I, was in the year 400 before Jesus Christ. And the second event that happened in this period of history was the writing discovering. It means what? When human appeared on the earth, they were not writing. So the man was not writing. So there were no, alphabets. There were no letters. So in the same period, the second event was the discovering of writing. So a human being was now capable to write. The third event is the beginning of history. So the beginning of history started in this period, antiquity, when now the human being was a man was capable to write. Now they could write history. The reason why we talk about the beginning of history, it means that before there were no history because the man couldn't write. Let us take now about the Middle Age. That started in 476. What happened, or what is the event that happened in this period? In this period, we have the Western, that we can keep in our mind, the Western Roman Empire decline. Decline only means that the Roman Empire, the Western, was defeated by the Eastern Roman Empire. So they fought. There was a war against the two empires. So the Western Roman Empire, that was the super one, was declined or was defeated. Now let's talk about the modern age. The modern age in 1453, the event was the Eastern Roman Empire decline. In this time, this empire, that the two empires were in Italy today. So in this period of history, the modern age, so was not the defeating of the Eastern Roman Empire. And the period of 1789, what you call the contemporary age, what we can keep in our minds now is the French Revolution. The French Revolution under the power of this King Louis XVI. So what happened? What is a revolution? The revolution is only that the French people were suffering. So they were being ruled by, the French were dominated by English people. They were suffering. They were like their slaves. But in this time, French said that no, we can also fight against them. So this revolution, they stood up to fight against their enemies. And we called this the French Revolution. In this period, we have also the person that we can keep our minds, what you call Jeanne d'Arc. Jeanne d'Arc was a small girl of 12 years who was chosen by the king to go and fight against their enemies. And this small girl won the victory of French. And that time, French was called Gaul. Unfortunately, this girl didn't survive. After the victory, she was caught by the same enemy and betrayed by his brothers. This girl was caught and burnt alive. She was caught, she was tied, and they burnt her alive, and she passed away. I think you understood very well my explanation about the different period of history. Here there are 3 questions that you are going to work at home. The first one is, in which period was Jesus born? The second, in which period of history are we now? The last, the Western Roman Empire decline happened in dash period. You are going to continue. I think you understood very well my explanation. You enjoyed it very well. As an advice, please, Joshua, I'd like you to respect all the social distancing given by the government to protect against this coronavirus. May God bless you. Goodbye.